Alright guys, today I'm going to show you how to set up the Foscam FI9803ep. This is the Power over Ethernet edition. As I mentioned in my previous unboxing video, you can see it actually has one cable out that gets split up to these three here. You have a reset switch, you have a power a connector here, and you also have an RJ45 jack. Now, I've already have it kind of hooked up here. This is just a standard patch 6 cable. You can use a Cat 5 or Cat 5e cable. That's perfectly fine. Just make sure it's a straight patch, not a crossover. This here, this blue cable connects to that switch in the back there. That's my main desktop switch. Okay. This is a TP-Link SF1008P. Is a 802.3 AF. That's just a specification for power over Ethernet. As you can see, there's actually 4 of these ports here are POE, which is power over Ethernet. These 4 here are not. And since that switch and this switch is powered, there's no need for this one to be power over Ethernet. So that's why I have this thing plugged in as 8. Now, to power on the camera, all I have to do now, as you can see, one end is already plugged into the camera here. I'm just going to plug in the other end to the switch. So I'm going to pick port 1, and if you can hear the camera, you can actually hear it turn on. You'll notice that there's actually 2 clicks. The second click was actually the camera. Now it actually takes about 30 seconds for this camera to boot up. So while that does that, I'm going to jump to the computer. Alright, here we are in front of the computer. There's on the CD itself, there's actually a folder called 03IP Camera Search Tool. There's one for Windows and one for Mac. You pick the one that's respective for your operating system. I copied the file already. It's sitting on my desktop here called ipcamera.exe. So I'm going to run this. As you can see, there's actually 2 Foscam IP cameras on this network. I have a FI9803ep. That's the one that we're working on right now. And you can also see I have another one called a FI9821w. That's a wireless edition. It also gives you the IP addresses for each of those camera. If you notice the port that you'll be using is port 88. That is the default port. Okay. So let's go ahead and actually open up this open up a web browser and browse this location here. All right, so here's my Windows Explorer or Internet Explorer. Let's go ahead and browse to that. Now since this is our first time accessing this camera, the password, well, the default username is admin. The password is actually blank. So just go ahead and hit login. And you'll notice that it's going to ask you to change your password. So it's going to ask you to change both your password and username. So I'm going to just pick something simple like administrator. You can pick wherever you want. And I'm going to choose a password. Okay. You'll notice that it has been accepted here. So it brings you back to a login page. Enter your new username and password. And there you go.